What do you think, the Texas legislature should do about public ed this time?
I have an answer.
Go ahead.
Seriously,
Go ahead,
I think it's good to champion what you want done.
Go ahead. And Meg, welcome to the call. Meg's a mom, so go ahead, Meg.
I would say that the most important thing to do to help these failing schools is to, first of all, take all of the money that we are investing in experimental theories of education, all this technology, one-to-one learning, smart boards, computer applications. All that is it's money being thrown out the window with lots of companies making a lot of money off of the backs of our children, and return that money to the local school districts and use that money to pay and garner great teachers and return to an academic education that's rooted in knowledge, teaching children to read well, write well, do math, and know history, which requires really books, paper, pencil, and a great teacher. So I have my youngest of 5 that I've moved to a classical school that only uses books, papers, and pencils, and these kids are getting incredible education. And it's fascinating to me to see that the amount of money that this school has, the people who have money in Dallas that are sending their children to this school, and when I saw the education that my youngest was getting in comparison to my 4 oldest that went through the public school system, it infuriated me.
Yeah,
I thought to myself, it's so wrong that not every child can receive this education. And this is a very inexpensive education. The most expensive part of the education is the teacher. That's it.
Well, not anymore, but that used to be true.
but that's how but the problem is, I after listening to, at these education committees and these invited panelists come speak, and they all represent someone or some company who's going to make money off of the shift in education. Every single person. And our senators, instead of, being unbiased listeners, asking questions, trying to understand what's best for the children, what's best for helping the public school system, they're salesmen themselves. They've already worked backdoor deals with these people.
All those panels were set up. Yeah, you're right.
There's no real debate occurring. And so then when you get the public testimony, there was a man who got up there. I thought he was awesome. I can't remember his name, but he was one of 5 children. He probably got my age. It looked like he was in his, early to mid-40s. And his parents didn't have a lot of money, and they used a voucher system or some sort of voucher to put him into a charter school. But the charter school was far away from where he lived. So it was a real sacrifice for his mom to be able to get him there, having these 4 other children. So then by the time the other kids, it was their turn, the mom couldn't do it. It was too far away. It was too much of a drain and a strain on the family. So therefore, his siblings all went to the local public school. And so he was there to say, charter schools are not the answer. We need to keep children in their communities going to school through local public school. And we need to fix the local public school because, again, that's not helping the low socioeconomic group. So that's why I get infuriated when I hear that we're doing all these changes to help those who are poor and needy. The reality of it is we are putting shackles on the poor and needy through the shift in education away from academics, through technology, through charter schools, and now through what looks like will be a voucher system. And then we had another man that got up and spoke, and he was awesome. I can't remember Allison Lynn. You might remember his name, the one who said, who decides what school's failing? And what's your criteria for it? He said, because I was visiting a school in South Oak Cliff 2 weeks ago, that's what he says, and I walked into that school, and he said it was clean, it was, there were teachers there working hard, the children were happy to be there, they were learning. Who defines that school as failing? And that is a really great question because doesn't it seem suspect that we can go and define all these schools as failing because once they're failing, then what? through the guise of failing schools, we're losing the largest elected representative that we have in our country, and that is our local school board. So when you go and take your ESA voucher and you go to some charter school, and slowly but surely it's going to shut down the public school system, all of a sudden parents have lost all choice and all voice. Because charter schools are run by companies, and there's somebody making money off of the children. A public school, you still at least have your local school board, and that is your voice. And the minute you lose that, you lose your freedom. And you know, this business of parents just have the choice to send their children to whatever school they deem fit. You know, what's perfect for their child, blah, blah. We have that choice now. Mm-hmm. In America, I can send my child to any school I want. Whether I can afford to or not is a different story. We have that freedom. That everybody can't afford to do it, unfortunately, that is life. Unless you want to go move to Russia, which has contractor schools, which are the exact same thing as charter. But we live in a country that we do have freedom of choice. Right. And the best way to help those who are living in poverty or living in dire circumstances is to make certain that the public school provides each child an education of opportunity. And it doesn't take a lot of money. But you're not going to get senators that are up there who are being backed by donors who are pushing this to ever go and return our schools the way they need to be unless parents revolt.